All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are finding your way into the trade room this morning. Very active Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. All right, some of you are finding your way into the room. Hi, Miles. Always a challenge getting started. Let's see, I think I got two microphones going here. Let me get rid of one of them. All right, hopefully you hear me okay. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Armando, Brett. All right, you guys are finding your way in. Very good. So let's just do a quick recap here. Currently short in the pound Aussie. Started out with this long trade getting in sync. We all got long right in here, and then it flipped over to short. The entry was adjusted down to 89. So currently short, targeting 76, 66, 57, 47. So the failure to get higher, hopefully, if we got to break through the 50 moving average and see if it starts to test this 200 moving average down here, that'll get us at least a target 1. So the jury's still out on the pound Aussie to start the week. Good morning to you, John C. Let's see, let's just see what's up with crude oil. Looks like crude oil had did pretty good. Let's see, where's 9 a.m.? Yeah, probably didn't grab the short. Anyone grab that short? No, I don't. Well, nah. Depends on where the entry was, I guess. It looks like the long may have happened too quickly, but it did hit targets, and then if not, the short. I mean, ideally, if you missed the first two trades somehow, the first one actually was a little bit below the entry, but you could have adjusted around the spike, so that would have been a winner. Getting into the blue trade, a winner, but if you missed both those, clearly the next trade would have been the ideal situation. Look at how close it got to target 4. Nice trade. Regardless, it's one and done. I mean, one of those 3 trades should have done the job for you. And then, of course, a little consolidation here, testing the 50 moving average, getting short again, now testing the lows. We'll see what's going on with crude at this point. But crude got its work finished rather efficiently, and we've seen that a lot lately. Crude is just in the sweet spot, trading up in the $65-ish per barrel range. It's really great for our strategies and trading. And then unleaded, lots of action in the look at all that action in unleaded. So the first trade was the long trade, and it just barely missed money management, but then it flipped over to short, really close to the entry, tiny loss there, but then perfect target 2. So hitting target 1, target 2, and that's a 2 trade sequence right there. Hopefully it didn't go too fast for people, but the green trade certainly was tradable, and this one as well. So you could just see the great swings. We continue to see that in unleaded and crude, which is great. Great. All right, the Dow E-mini. Market's opening up. Don't forget this week we will go to the June contract. Getting short, little adjustment. Heads up, guys. I would say at 95. I mean, you could push it to 94 even. You don't want to get short on top of this little spike down, make it push through. From 98 to 94, it's a 4-tick adjustment, doesn't bother me. It's getting, well, it hasn't hit 94 yet. There it is. Nope. Yes. Look at that bounce off of 95. See why we do those adjustments? Let's see if that holds. Anyway, if you do get short, it's targeting 877. Target 1, the primary target for the 14-point momentum bar. And look at it bounce off the nickel, still not hitting 94. Maybe it will push lower. Got to be careful because it looks like nice action move up, and it could be looking to find support on a reaction to establish another move higher. The way the markets have been going lately. Again, good morning, good morning, good morning. A lot of people joining. I'm really trying to get in here a little bit early, but there always seems to be some issue I have to deal with. This morning I couldn't get the mic to work. I just hit update stream, and now, well, sorry for that, guys. I'm learning this software. It's a little bit bizarre, and there's really no user manual, so I'm kind of learning as I go. So, didn't mean to throw that little entry. Did you guys just see the Backpack Trader entry? Sometimes I don't even know what you guys are seeing. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know you love me. It's hard enough getting up at this hour every day. I look out the window and it's nighttime. And now that we push the clocks forward, it's even more nighttime than before. Oh my goodness. One day I'll wake up when the sun is shining. Theoretically. What else is happening? All right, so look at crude oils. I mean, the pound Aussie is trying to get lower here. Let's mark our money management level. Get to break even at least if we can get to 7.7. Not able to get there yet. Just a reminder this week that tomorrow and Thursday, John will not be available. So this is a short week for us. I'll be here on Wednesday. Of course, we'll do the crude oil report as well. I've had a lot of questions about the UTA spreadsheet this last week. If any of you, I don't know, now I don't even remember who was asking me because I get so many of them, but if you're in the room and you have any questions, this is a great place to ask those questions, and I'm happy to go over stuff anytime. The YM came down, triggered in, so it's short. Got to get through the 50 moving average to get to its money management level. Right there. All right, well, unfortunately, the YM came up and stopped out. So now there's a new short at 94. That one did trigger in. So it popped up, broke the ceiling there to hit the stop, and then came back down again. So a little bit of a consolidation here to start the morning. So a second attempt to get short on the YM. First trade losing. So short at 94, targeting 872. Second target 860, and the stop at 26. Let's see if it will push lower. Did pop through here, barely, no follow through at all. Should lead to a nice move lower. I mean, we see that a lot. Let's see if that's what happens. So far, so good. Keep an eye on that. Pound Aussie trying to work lower as well. Whoops. All right, money management hit on the YM. Move your stop to break even. 72 is the target. Got as low as 73. So missing the full target by one tick. Unleaded gas continues to provide really nice short trades anyway. Mostly good trades. But that one hitting its goals already, so not much to do with that. All right, so there's a full target on the YM. Target 1, 22 points. The prior trade had a 28 tick risk, and then after the adjustment, call it a 32 tick risk. So you need to make a little more on the YM to get to your power of quitting goals. It will require another trade, most likely. All right, so money management achieved on the Pound Aussie. Move your stops to break even. I jumped off to move my stop, and I looked, and lo and behold, it was already moved. I totally forgot that FX Synergy's entry tool, rapid fire entry tool, does that for us. What a luxury. Looks like I got exited at target 1 also. There's nothing perfect in Forex. The quote's a tiny bit off between the TradeStation quote here and my broker Owanda. So already hitting the target on Owanda, but TradeStation's still trying to get down to it. 76, getting as low as 766. So still missing by half a pip, maybe with spread. I don't know, I got filled, so Not complaining about that. It's nice when it goes the other way in our direction, my direction, hopefully yours as well. You guys are awfully quiet this morning, which is fine. All right, the YM pushing lower. Perfect target 4, so hitting all 4 targets here. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of this. It continues to be a really nice morning trade. Stop is now at 71. Armando asking, why would we not switch to the June contract if the volume is greater in June? Is it already greater? We should. I mean, usually it's the second Friday. Oh, you know what? Haha. I am so off. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, living on the West Coast has its hazards. I should get a new line of work. I should become an astronaut. Move to the M contract. I don't know what I'm thinking. Jesus. Yeah, no, we should be on June. We talked about that last week. I'm just off. I am off. I'm living in a time warp. I don't know why I thought it was this coming week was the second Friday. Oh my goodness. Senility is setting in after 18 years. What could I say? Well, if you were in the H contract, you didn't do so poorly. Let's take a look at how the June contract did. Definitely need to switch over. All the E-minis. That is funny. And just to rub salt on, add salt to the injury, I have a monitor that went dark on me, and I'm looking over trying to get information on it, and it's not even working. I'm like, what the heck? Every Monday it's something. Well, you could see it's practically the same trade. Different price levels. The first trade failing to get lower. Wow, it's even the same setup practically. That was at 98. This one's at 96. Not much of a difference. You didn't get to target 4 on this, so that is a difference actually. Unless, actually I take that back, because we always keep our stop above the little spike here, and we would have kept our stop above, and that would have kept us short. So our little techniques of hiding our stops around price action bars like we always do, the stop would not have moved lower. I would have kept it at 87. 83, it's within 4 ticks. Would have kept you short. Anyway, that's what happened. My apologies. Kind of funny. What else? We could look at the the euro yen. This is one of the things I hope to follow. Still a lot less active than I had hoped. Maybe the 6 pip momentum bar might be a little slow for this. We could look at a 5 pip as well. My concern is that maybe the trades aren't large enough. These 6 pip trades are just the right size. It's just not as active as it once was. Let's see something. Got to do the sniff test on this. Like sometimes the range is really good. Yeah, you can see this. Well, like a trade like this where you have to go to target 4 and that's it. But the other trades, well, not sure that makes that big of a difference, really. Not today, anyway. We'll look at both for a while. Maybe we'll fast test both and see how they end up looking. I'll be right back. All right, guys, sorry about the delay. Pound Aussie coming up, hitting its money management level and stopping out, unfortunately. Have to wait for another trade on that. I'm looking for a chart I want to show you guys. I will tell you about it in a moment. All right, sorry for the delay, guys. Got the 10 a.m. mini session here on crude oil just beginning, and I don't know, did anyone catch this trade? It looks like it came through right in the 10 a.m. I don't know. I wasn't looking. I just looked up and realized that the session just began a second ago, minute ago. But this would be the trade. Did anyone grab it? Just curious. The 10 a.m. mini session. I just don't know that the entry was hit before 10. Looks like you would have had to been quick on your finger, and then it missed money management too. So I wouldn't chase this. Went too far. Okay, so this is... I don't even know if I'm streaming. Am I streaming? Says I'm live. Oh, brother. All right, for some reason, you guys are telling me I'm good, but on my live stream, it's showing a completely different session, and now I'm like, I don't even know what to think. All right, so I'm streaming, but it's not showing. Unreal. And now it's playing the flash screen again. Brett, good. You're making me happy. So was that before 10 a.m.? Look at it come down and hit target too. So I'm kind of flying in the dark because my streaming software thinks I'm on the February 18th session. Imagine that. I'm looking up at this and like, what? And it keeps playing the flash screen. Let me see something here. Browser screen. Can't believe it. All right, well, you guys are seeing everything, so I don't want to touch anything. That's funny. All right, well, back to what I was trying to get to. There's been a chart I've been meaning to look at for quite some time. This is as good a time as any, but I have to set it up because I'd have to find it on an old workspace. So bear with me here. This was a chart that was so steady. It's a Counterpunch Trader, Counterpunch Express 2 chart. It was like in this right-hand bottom corner for the longest time. That's a clue. Does anyone remember what it might be? I know the suspense is too great for you guys. Let's see if I could even figure out the right calculator settings. I'm going to have to look up my settings because I'm sure this is going to be incorrect, and we can get it on the website. So crude oil, clearly it would have stopped out on that last chart. Let's get that chart back first of all. All right. You guys remember this? This used to be one and done, like religiously, most of the time. I have to look up the actual trade plan. Now it's been a while since I don't remember it, but that one probably went too fast. Soybeans. You guys remember soybeans? Maybe we'll start looking at this again. Maybe you guys don't remember. Soybean futures trades the same as the ES as far as $50 a contract, $12.50 a tick, quarter point ticks. So I think what I'm going to do, well, yeah, we're running out of real estate is the problem here. To reconfigure what we look at and where I put stuff. But this has been a really good one, and some of you are looking for an additional day trade solution other than Forex. So soybeans might be a good answer because it's been such a steady, long-term winning plan, and we haven't followed it in a while. So maybe we'll start looking at it again. I have to do a little homework on it, make sure I get the right settings for it. All right, I'm going to pull up this member site and see if we can find this trade plan. All right, so this tells you how old this plant is. 5 years old, soybeans. Let's take a quick look here. Starts at 8:30. Get in sync if you can. Take profit at target 1, 2, 3, and trail. Using hybrid mode. Okay, so we got to put on hybrid mode. Does anyone remember what hybrid mode is with the Counterpunch Trader? I'll give you guys a chance to scratch your noggin and see if you remember, and if you don't, I'll explain it. What else is there? Just wondering. There's some optional settings like the 2-tick chaser, the 6-tick requirement for break even. You might want to use 5. And it really, one tick is 5. Okay, I think I remember the 5 mom. Oh, interesting. So I got the wrong chart. So it's a 5-tick momentum bar. Not. One second. Interesting. All right, I think I got it. So I have a 6-tick momentum bar here. It should be 5. 5 ticks. Thanks, Miles. Now I know you go back that far. So in Ninja, you just make it a 5 range, but in TradeStation, you'd have to put in 1.25. That'll make all the difference. Let's see. Yeah, a lot more trading. So just kind of seeing how it would have done. Look at, 8:30. Still, it went pretty quick. I don't know if that's tradable. So, I mean, hypothetically, if you were able to grab it, great. Otherwise, there's this one, and then that one wins. So soybeans was one and done today. And if you're trading to target 1, 6 ticks, it's 100 and, no, 6 ticks is $75 a contract, right? $50 a point. I'll wrap my head around this again. Let's make sure the calculator settings are correct, though, because this has the crude oil stuff. So I got to come down here and turn off key level adjustments. We're not using those. That can make a difference. And we need to set our minimum for money management to either 5 or 6. I think I'll start with 5 if I remember correctly. That's what I used before. That means it has to hit target 1 and go 5 ticks before getting to break even. And we'll see if that's too tight. And also to start the trailer. So minimum ticks for break even, we'll go 5. I think that should do it. There's not a lot to change. Looks pretty good here. Oh, hybrid mode. So hybrid mode means that we do not stop and reverse unless it's congruent with the trend mode indicator. That's all it means. If you're in a short, you don't go long if it doesn't match up with the trend mode indicator, which we have to put on the chart. Let's do that. That's going to be this. There we go. So just for example, if you were long here and then you get the short, you don't go short, well, would have stopped out. Never mind. That's a bad example. Let's see if there's a good example. Yeah, you're not going to see it very often. Basically, it keeps you from stopping and reversing when you're trending. That's the point. I don't see any examples here. Maybe if you were short on this add-on trade, you wouldn't get long, but this isn't even a good example either. But the line's red, so you just stay short, even though it would have been a loser. But Anyway, that hybrid mode just prevents you from stopping and reversing unless it's in the direction of the color. So the reversing trade has to match. If you're going to stop and reverse to short, the trend mode indicator has to be red, for example. You're going to stop and reverse to long, and that means you're in the trade and the entry is before the original stop, right? It's a stop and reverse. Anyway, that's its intention. So soybeans is something we could start looking at. I think it'd be a nice addition to the trade room. And I think what I'm going to do is put crude oil back on top here. Still not sure about the euro yen, but I'm thinking, wow, the 6 tick is so slow, the 6 pip. But we got to keep an eye on both these, and I'm not sure if we'll even add this to the room if it continues to, be a day at the snail races. We'll go soybeans back in its old location here and just, we'll look at it for a bit. It's already done today, but in the future, I'll start looking at it when the market's open. In fact, maybe that's a good place to put the other euro yen for now. Just trying to make things more interesting here. So a bunch more people have joined, or several more. Let me just welcome you. Sorry, the gremlins have showed up again this morning. One of my monitors dark for whatever reason. I can't even get to my login screen for Thinkorswim. I mean, I can get to the login screen, but I can't get to the main screen. So I gotta figure out what's up with that. My nice vertical portrait-oriented monitor that I've had for years and years. That's probably what's wrong with it. I've had it for years and years. So one of the things I also like to do is take a standard, typical Counterpunch Trader chart, or Counterpunch Express, doesn't matter, and then put it on daily and weekly charts on various stock symbols, especially when I want to get a really good idea of longer term trends. So this is USO, the ETF for United States oil. It's a pretty good proxy for the long-term direction of crude oil. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You can see all the way back here, January last year, 2020. I don't know, but I don't remember crude oil being that expensive. Do you guys? Then COVID happened. You can see it. Look, this is a history lesson reflected in price action. Counterpunch caught the trade. I mean, if we knew what was going to cause this, if we actually had a clue that we had a crystal ball into the future, not even knowing what the cause is on January 24th, that would have been one heck of a short, wouldn't it? Found its bottom. Now, I know they repriced USO also. That might have something to do with why the prices are up at 100 here, because USO was repriced. I don't know if you guys remember when crude oil went negative and you actually got paid to buy crude oil instead of having to pay for it. Remember when we couldn't trade last year's June contract? We had to skip ahead to July. So the pricing on this, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I'm sure it's all been adjusted. That's why the number on the left or on the right here at 100 is so high, I think. I'm not sure. I just don't remember crude oil being, more than double the price last year. But anyway, it's still pretty low, and it's been trending up. And if the economy starts to heat up, just kind of using a little common sense, maybe overthinking things a little, because just taking the printed trades has always done well on this chart with Counterpunch anyway. It is currently in a long here. This is a weekly chart, by the way. We could look at the daily chart. But anyway, it just seems like there's a lot of room to go, because if the economy starts heating up, unless they start ramping up production again worldwide on crude, there's a good chance that it's going to keep going higher. So I've done pretty good with these options so far. Something for you to think about. Counterpunch is great. It's just so diversified or versatile with what you can do with it, because it doesn't really it's all, you know how it works, right? It's really just the relationship of one exhaustion level to the one or two exhaustion levels prior to the current exhaustion level. That's it. That's all it does. Spotlight, different, way different. Spotlight will give you some really high quality trades. You just don't get them that often on the swing trade charts. Maybe it's good if you've got a way to be alerted when setups happen. With Counterpunch, you're going to be a lot more active. Let's make the exhaustion dots larger, because a chart like this, you kind of want to see where they are. It helps visualize consolidation and trend levels and support and resistance levels and stuff. It's nice to have them a little bigger, but you could see that you had the Counterpunch reversal here. That one got long, but then a little stop and reversal on the purple trade, and that one came down and just missed target one. Remember, this is a weekly chart. It's not really a chart to be trading. It gives you just a sense of longer, bigger term direction. But it's a chart that's historically done really, really well with Counterpunch. And as you can see here, Counterpunch catching a lot of these trades up and down on the daily chart just since last several months. Last October, the short, the long, the long, the short canceled. This one canceled. That one you miss. That short was a loser. And this long, it gapped through. There's some gaps, obviously, but then this one. That one's a nice one. So the short's obviously not working because the trend is up, up, up. And the volume's kind of low. I mean, it's barely 2 million shares today. But it's enough. You can still put some longer term options in there. If you think crude is destined to go higher, I mean, that's kind of a flaky trade regardless, because you never know what's going to happen with the oil producing countries. But just looking at the historic trends, it looks like it's pretty low historically on that weekly chart. It has a lot of headroom up above. And as we saw on the weekly chart, let me just point one other thing out that looks interesting to me. It could change, of course. It's kind of a lagging way to look at things. But now that it is above the 50 EMA and it's starting to curl, at some point, the price action is going to meet up with its 200 moving average. The question is, will the price go up to meet it? Will the 200 come down to meet it? Will they meet somewhere in the middle? That's out in the future. It's going to happen eventually. So it's hard to know, though, if this is going to head lower again. I think if the economy goes to crap, or if the oil-producing countries get greedy and start overproducing again, namely the ones that are able to in this low-cost environment, bad economy environment, it could affect this. But so far, so good. I think if I had to guess, I would guess that it's going to go higher. But that's just a guess. Anyone have any ideas on that or questions? Let me know. All right, guys. Well, my mic was muted. I was talking. One of those days. So unless there aren't any other questions. So Scott, first of all, yes, the clocks went forward. Did you just join us like an hour later? I love it when the clock springs forward because then it stays light longer. Of course, I'm waking up more at nighttime now than ever before, but that's okay. It is what it is. I did point out the short on the euro yen is too small. We don't have any target that's 10 pips, so not acceptable. There's a long here. That one's canceled. Super slow. We're going to fast test this. Just because it's slow doesn't mean it's not a nice chart to trade. I mean, if you can get one good trade on most sessions and it wins most of the time, well, that's a pretty low maintenance day trade. I mean, some days you don't get a trade, other days you do, and it wins a lot. That's what we want to find out. That could be a perfect complement to another chart that's more active. So we'll see. That'll be interesting. We'll fast test it. Like I said, I'm going to do that session, and I'll invite you guys. Hopefully this week. I know I've been saying that. I'm looking for a slot to get it into where I can do this with you guys. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. It's a skill I really want each and every one of you to have, to know how to fast test. It's the first step to really fleshing out a trade plan. And if we find that it's worthy of our attention and the fast test will show us, we push it over to the column for consideration of spending more time with it, with the UTA spreadsheet. So I want to do this session live so you can see how I do it, think out loud so you can kind of hear how the process I go through, and hopefully it'll help you guys, because at some point there's going to be a chart you want to trade, a symbol, a chart, maybe one of my strategies, maybe some other strategy, maybe your own ideas, and you're going to be looking at it going, man, it looks good, but I wonder if it is. And a lot of you will make the mistake, hopefully not, other people maybe not in the room, but hopefully you won't, but I know some will, is throw money at it before proving it. That's what I want to prevent. I want you to prove it first. And that's what the whole fast testing is all about. It's the beginning steps of a very important process, because the more time you put into that, and you've heard me call it pre-production, but ultimately it's proving that your idea will make you money before you risk your money. The more you do that, the better off you're going to be. So that's the whole idea. So that's a skill I want you all to have, if possible. All right, so again, I will promise we're going to have this session maybe as early as tomorrow. I seem to be, I don't want to speak too soon. If so, you'll see it on the YouTube channel. I'll schedule it. You'll see it in advance. All right? All right, so last call for the thumbs up, like button. Please hit it if you haven't done so already. Everyone have a wonderful day. We're dark tomorrow, and Thursday, John is out of pocket, not available. I will be back on Wednesday for the morning session, and then again for the crude oil report. FOMC day on Wednesday. Heads up on that. Don't forget to look at the volume on your crude oil and unleaded charts. From now going forward, switch over to the K contract when the volume tells you to do so. And all of you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.